the sunspot cycles. I'll show you this. The sunspot cycles deal with a number of 25. More so, I would say 26 when you round up. Now, where have you seen the concept of the number 26 from the ancient Israelites, Egyptians? 26 is the golden rays that rest on the headdress of King Tut. 26 is the number for Yahweh in Hebrew. Remember, so the ancients dealt with codes. They dealt with the science of the sun. This is information which you can find confirmed by astronomers at NASA still to this day. So this is King Tut Ankh Amun. 26 golden rays on his headdress. What does 26 have to do with the sun? 26 rays of the sun, that's what makes up the rotational duration of the sun's magnetic field. But what is it with 26? We're going to go to language. Remember, language and science make up linguistics, so we're talking facts. 10th letter, we're going to go to the Hebrew. 10th letter of the Hebrew is what? The Yud. 5th letter of the Hebrew makes up the He. The 6th letter makes up what the Israelites call Vav or Wa. And the 5th letter again makes up the He. Do the math. The 10, 5, 6, and 5, that's where you get your 26 from. 26 rays on the headdress of King Tut. The name for God in Hebrew is Yahweh. Right? See the letters? Remember, you write the Hebrew from right to left. That's Yahweh. Right? 26. And Yahweh is God. How does this relate? God is what? God is light. Like written in 1 John chapter 1 verse 5. Read it. You're supposed to know the ancient scrolls. God is light. And light is what? Light is the sun. God's son. Alright, so what does the sun and the number 26 have to do with science and data, which can be confirmed in astronomy? Because the sun is what you refer to as light. And light is an ancient concept which comes down through all the mystery schools. Light is the euphoria that the Masons want to reach. Light is what you find in the teachings of the Buddha. The ultimate euphoria was for the followers of Buddha to reach enlightenment. Light is inside of the word enlightenment. If you study the monks, you'll know that they have a concept in their teachings called the practice, which deals with the Dharma. The Dharma is a word in Thai which means truth. Truth is synonymous with light, hence the saying, bringing the truth to light. And the light is a mathematical number that can be found written in the Bible. It's written in Revelations. It's the number 144,000. What is it with the numerology of the number 144,000 and light? Well, I'll tell you why. If you know anything about numerology, break that down. Ology means study of. Numer is the concept of numbers, so numerology is the study of numbers. The number 144,000 is a cycle of time which deals with the number 666. That's why 666 is written in the Bible as the mark on the head. The mark on the head of the Hindus rests at the pineal gland. Any astronomer or scientist knows that 666 is a computation of light. 6.66 is the revolutions that light travels around the earth per second. Remember, light is it travels at a very immense speed. The body is made up of light. So this is why Horus used to say, I'm the light of the world. This is why Freemasons deal with the light. And science, to reach the light, you have to understand human anatomy. The ancient Israelites knew of human anatomy, so did the Hindus in Sanskrit. The human anatomy is made up of 7 very important glands. This is what people in the conscious sector refer to as 7 chakras. When you're sitting in the position of meditation, from the base all the way up to your crown, there are 7 glands. The adrenal gland, the ovaries, the pancreas, the thyroid, the thymus, the pituitary gland, and the pineal gland. Those glands are measured in a unit that the Hindus used to call the wheel. Or what you'll see a lot of esotericists, they call petals. Petals deal with motion. Motion deals with heat. When you look at the molecular level of motion, it deals with atoms, protons and neutrons, positive and negative charges. So when you're conjuring up heat and motion in the art of meditation, once that energy goes from the base all the way up to your crown, you reach the light. You get to God. Revelations, the 144,000 were those that were chosen with the mark on their head that would get to God, because your soul would enable flight. It would take flight and you have an out-of-body experience. This was written in the Indian holy books called the Bhagavad Gita, where it said that the pure and the spiritual people will understand that they will have to lose their desires to reach the light and become a pure being. And so these 7 glands deal with the human anatomy. And so human anatomy is biology. It has nothing to do with fiction or fable. So that's why the word light is an ancient concept through history. Light deals with the number 144. If you read the teachings of the Hindus, you can find this in their books. Those glands, they add up to these numbers: 96, 16, I believe it's 12, 10, 6, and 4. That adds up to 144. You multiply that times 1,000, you get 144,000, which is light. The Masons always want to reach the light. And so how do you reach the light? They say that you have to be upright. You have to end your desire for worldly pleasures and lust. And so this is why you see in the Christian teachings, they tell that you got to refrain from sexual desires. But they were not telling you this because they wanted to control your behavior. It was because it was the concept of reaching the light. When you meditate, in science, what happens is you're conjuring up energy. That energy is found in the glands of the ovaries of a woman and the genitals of a man, the sperm. The sperm is biologically made up of protein and zinc. Protein is a building block. Protein is a building block of the human body. And so you're supposed to harness that energy and not give it away when you ejaculate and have sex, because you need that energy in meditation to help you reach the light. Once you reach the light, your soul takes flight. Light is in the word flight. Flight deals with feathers. If you look at the pictures of these of meditations, you'll see a serpent intertwined with wings. That's from the god Hermes. And it doesn't just deal with this concept of the Greeks who were falsely said to be homos and people who practice bestiality. I showed you the pictures of Hermes. You can see he was also depicted as a Negro man. And so their staff with the wings is a symbol that is used on every major hospital around the world. Wings and the staff. And it's a coiled serpent. A coiled serpent that reaches the crown, and there's wings. Once that energy goes up, you take flight. And so that's why all the ancient ones had holes inside of the heads of their artifacts. The emperor of Xi'an, at his burial in his tomb, there's a hole in his head. You've been looking at the Sphinx in Egypt, which faces the east where the sun rises. On top of the head of the Sphinx, there's a hole. There's a hole inside of the head of Lord Paco in ancient America to the Mayans. Olmecs knew this as well. When they had games of death, if you lost the game, they chopped your head off because they said that your soul could release faster.